With a common denominator.
And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Let's talk about something important. Put that coffee down.
I'm not here to waste your time.
Where else you gonna have this much fun?
You the man. You the man.
Todd father.
Show me the money.
What I've been doing, had to triple my bag. Had to triple my bag. Wow. Had to triple my bag. Wow. Had to triple my bag. Yeah. Had to triple my bag.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, it's no trick to make a lot of money. All you want is to make a lot of money.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another duo live show here at Learn Crypto. My name is Nick Hellman, aka the Crypto Hitman.
I'm Todd Butterfield, Wyckoff on crypto, Wyckoff on stocks.
The man with the plan taking us all to Lambo land. Stocks are getting hammered today, yet Bitcoin is showing strength. What do we see in the charts? What assets are we looking to buy, and what positions do we currently hold? Also, we're going to talk about a $500,000 Bitcoin transaction fee on only a $2,000 payment. How did that happen, and what was the result? And then lastly, is the AI trend going to find itself back in crypto? We saw a bunch of AI cryptos that were absolutely mooning. They have all been decimated, down 40 to 90%. But NVDA and other stocks are really getting a boost from the AI narrative. Will this come back to crypto? What crypto assets should you look at? And will we have future videos on the AI crypto sector? So make sure to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. If you want 24/7 access to Todd and myself, then join us at patreon.com/learncrypto. I guess, Todd, if you want to give me the screen, I'll do a quick glance at what is going on in the market, and then we'll go to your charts and see what's going on here.
All right, here you are.
Shout out to Yannick. Shout out to Try Crypto saying roll it. I like those emojis you got there. Those are nice. Guys, remember, we do go to the chat box to steer the entire second half of every single show. So throw us a chat, throw us a comment, and we'll answer your questions. Any charts, any fundamentals, any news. We have an opinion, and we will give it to you. So here we go. We see Bitcoin at 26,439, about break even for the day, slight red on the day. And the rest of the market is really in lockstep currently with some outliers. Now, why is this surprising? Well, because stocks, NASDAQ is down 300 points. So stocks are getting absolutely decimated today, and Bitcoin is showing some immense strength. We'll see what the technometer and some of the indicators are showing on the Bitcoin side, and maybe Todd has an opinion on why that is happening. Let's look at the biggest gainers for today. You got Tonecoin, Arweave, Maker, and VeChain. We own none of those. VeChain is one that has been shielding here on this channel quite frequently the past few days, and it is up 11% over the past week. So shout out to you guys shilling that in here and anybody who took that trade. And INJ is one that we've been on the record stating in our Patreon group that is showing strength compared to the general market. And this is one that we probably want to add to the portfolio when we get the next Bitcoin buy indicator. That is up 7.5% for the week and continues to outperform the index of Bitcoin. Biggest losers, we got ApeCoin, Pepe, and Arbitrum. Why is ApeCoin and Pepe interesting? Well, again, these find themselves on the biggest losers. And again, I'm going to remind you of when it was about a week or two ago, and continually I've been saying, if you're in big gains on Pepe, sell out of it and rotate to other assets. It continues to underperform. And ApeCoin, never been a huge fan, always warned of the red flags built into token economics. And if you look at that chart, I was proven correct once again. We are not always right, but we are right more than we are wrong, and we are ahead of the trends in both crypto and stocks here at Learn Crypto. Todd, do you want to take care of the charts, and we'll get the show on the road?
All right. As you know, I've been bearish U.S. equities, and we're finally getting a sell-off here, SPY in front of us. You can see here we're going back to the lows on September 7th. I do think those are going to give away. Technometer 43.5. I need a 38 to probably get excited about buying. So it looks like lower on stocks. Now for everyone here in crypto, so far that's not affected Bitcoin much. So That's good. I think it still could affect it a little bit here early next week, but we'll see. Here's the QQQ. Same thing, approaching the low on the 7th. Technometer neutral at 44, so not much to add. It looks like we have lower to go next week. Maybe lower to go into the close today. We got the NASDAQ down 209, S&P down 50, Dow down 260. So again, I think we're going to see still a little bit more lower on stocks, hopefully into the close and early next week. Here's the TLT. I've been looking for that, try to make a run at 96, 97, but last 2 days we came down again, testing previous lows. I do think we'll try to hold here, but not many positions there. GDX, I talked about a low being made. GDX having 2 nice days out of the lows here off those last 2 oversold readings. Technometer is 49.2, so I thought we might back up a little bit here, but I think precious metals is going to be a place to be looking forward in the next maybe 6 months or even longer. So we're going to watch that one close. XLE, everyone knows I've been long that thing. We're just off closing highs yesterday. A little bit of sell-off today in sympathy with stocks in general. Technometer 46.3. I still like oil. I still like oil stocks. I think we're going to be stay higher there. And what else we want to look at here? Let's look at MicroStrategy, Riot, all of those. Not much to add. Technometer 43.3. Really on the lows of the last week or so. Again, I think we could see a little bit lower here. So we'll watch MicroStrategy for a little bit lower.
If you notice that buy and sell signal there, we pulled out about 25% on the last buy and sell trade on MicroStrategy. That is given live timestamped in patreon.com/learncrypto. We do give out this information when we talk here on YouTube and Twitter, but it's kind of after the fact. We don't give exact stop levels, exact buy levels. So MicroStrategy is one of the many stocks that we are looking to re-enter after selling from higher levels. Todd's going to talk about Riot, Coinbase. We're looking at Penn and MicroStrategy, all been big winners for the group. And you know, people are getting a little impatient, like, hey, when are we going to buy back? When are we going to buy back? Because we're going to add so many shares to our bags. But we're trying to have patience at these levels because they are critical levels, and we really want to get that major buy set up so we can ride the next wave higher. Of course, they're going to follow Bitcoin. That's why it is interesting that Bitcoin is showing some strength here in the face of this massive stock correction, because if that trend continues, then we don't want to miss these re-entries.
You can see the Riot chart in front of us. We had a 44% gain out of there a few months ago now. We've been sitting in cash looking for a pullback here. I mean, it looks like on the daily chart, it is a backup completing on low volume. Stock's definitely going to provide a little bit of pressure today with Bitcoin down just a hair. But again, that's one we're watching. Mara, same type of thing. A little weaker on Mara, but I still think it's a backup here. Definitely not as clean as the other ones. Try to bring that up here. So again, on the lows here, been an underperformer, but one I think will dig in. And then last, Coin. That's one we sold at 105-ish. Traded off the lows there, as you can see from the green and red dots. And it's holding up here a little bit better. So that's one that could try to lead us higher if we get something going early next week. We're going to throw up Penn because that's one being a little bit of a problem for Nick here because it's had 2 strong days off that shitty bottom that we've been talking about. But that one, that could be a spring trying to complete. So we'll have to watch that one here in the next few days as well.
Yeah, in the last live show, I said I'm looking for a zone about $20, but I was getting close to just having to pull the trigger because I didn't want to miss it. And the very next day after the live show, it was up 7%, and again it's up another 2% today. But again, 9% in the books. That would have been a nice trade, but we were close to that perfect setup. We didn't quite get the perfect setup. Didn't want to jump too early, so we're keeping an eye on Penn. It's one that we want to be a part of moving forward.
And underneath me, I've got the chart of SoFi, S-O-F-I. That's one that holding up pretty well here that I'm watching. And I mentioned the last one here. We're going to throw up Wingstop. Shout out to Rick Ross. And there's your Wingstop chart. Again, I think maybe we complete a backup. We are along that one for my pro traders at WyckoffSMI.com. So that's one we're going to be watching. I think there was a lot of support down there at 150. And I think that one will try to go higher once, especially the stock market decides to move higher. So that'll take care of stocks right now. Let's go back to the joint.
Yeah, shout out to Big House. Everyone loves RUNE/USD. We looked at RUNE 2 days ago as well. We said, hey, in a perfect bull market, this thing looks like a pork blaster. And what do you know? Bitcoin stayed firm and sideways, and RUNE did break out to the upside. I do have my chart marked up. Maybe Todd will show that real
quick. Got it.
Yeah, so I got my chart marked up for RUNE as well, and you know we had the high level Porkblaster there, broke out, and I was going to give a buy on this if it checked back down to this support. You know, break out, retest the support, and then I would probably want to buy it. So far, it hasn't. If Bitcoin shows weakness, maybe we can get an entry down here around this $1.58 mark, and this Porkblaster formation will be confirmed. First target for the upside objective would be around this previous wick high, around $2.05. And then the highest upside objective would be around just shy of $2.50. So not one we've typically traded, but it was brought to us here. We saw the Porkblaster in play, and if it gives us the setup with the Bitcoin sell-off and comes back to this line, back to this $1.60 area, this might be something we might have to add a quick trade on. So
yeah, that would
keep an eye on that. That's
$1.60, $1.65.
Yeah, that's a little YouTube freebie. So mark your chart up. I know you're going to screenshot this and see if you can get that entry.
Shout out to Big House.
Shout out to Dennis for being here from EU. The Wise Tent. Hey, boys, what's going on? Bamboo's here. Moss is back. Carrie's here. I'm liking the people coming back, and we want to give you guys a shout out. Yannick says patience is key. That is correct. We had a super active end of August, closing out a lot of trades for big gains, including selling Bitcoin at 29,100. We have some patreon.com/learncrypto members who are getting a little impatient. Like, hey, we need more activity in here. We're paying you $30 a month. We need more activity. Well, the activity is being right on the previous trade, sitting in cash and watching the markets continue to slide off lower and sideways. This is going to give us a better entry, going to allow us to get more tokens and shares in our portfolio, and going to allow us to participate in new opportunities, like maybe being able to add on RUNE or add on PEN into the portfolio due to closing out our other positions at higher levels. So, guys, being in cash sometimes is a position. I know you want to go short. I know you want leverage trades. I know you want us to be more active. But right now, when the market is a little uncertain, we've sold from higher levels. We're having some patience here. And we do have some crypto exposure still. Don't remember we have passive income hodl bags in Atom, Juno, Zen, and Cake, which we're just collecting that passive income and compounding that while we wait for the next bull market to come as well. So we're looking at this thing as a full portfolio. And that's why at times some people get a little eager. They want a little more dopamine rush. But there's only so many dollars to go around. We're treating this, everything is timestamped, treating it like a real portfolio and a real business. We can't just go out here and say, hey, look, this setup looks good. No, we're giving actual entries, actual exits, and actual stop levels, which means, things take a little more time. This isn't just the typical shill on Twitter who's saying go 100x and you never hear from them about that trade again. You know, everything's timestamped for us, so we got to be careful with what we're doing.
Great toilet flush. XRP is below me. XRP maybe completed that backup. We're coming off those lows in the last 4 days, so XRP could look probably pretty good here. Technometer was oversold at the lows, so it came right back to a backup level. So XRP might be one. Finally tries to dig in here once we. I think we need the stocks to clear out here and maybe start an uptrend before we can really get Bitcoin rocking and rolling.
Yeah, another thing too, if you've been following me, I did some short video content on the video a lot. The day of the high, I made this line. You know, the high was 505 for regular average Joes like us. It was like 515 for institutions, and we are now back down to 440 and broken down a potential neckline with an Adam and Eve. I still think the price target is somewhere between 320 to 367. What that does for stocks, I don't know. But there's just that big gap there. You had tons of bearish divergences. You had tons of bearish patterns. You have institutions caught long up here at $515. I think this is just a recipe for overvaluation and a downturn for NVIDIA. We'll see if I'm right. So far, you're 12% off the high for the average Joe, and you're about 16% off the high for pre-market institutions. So already a pretty big percentage drop in terms of traditional market and stocks, and we'll see how much more downside NVIDIA has. Obviously, NVIDIA makes up a big component in the indices in the stock market, and a downturn in NVIDIA is going to drag the entire market. So I don't know. Again, I don't want to be a doom and gloomer. I just think they got a little ahead of themselves and they have some more downside coming.
I'm going to show a chart on Link. You're going to see here my software is throwing up a warning sign because my developers are trying to move me to some new a new platform, but I just talked to them. They're going to clear that out, but it hasn't cleared out. So here's a chart on Link. Again, holding the lows there, trying to distance itself from that 570 level. So again, I think Link will be one that can rock and roll the upside. You can see the OP was hitting new lows while price is holding, and that's a little bullish. And we just came off oversold again 4 days ago. Kind of looks like XRP trying to dig out of here. So I think Link could be okay as well.
The Wise Tent wants you to take a look at the DOGE chart if you want to pull that up. And DOGE is one that isn't typically in our portfolio, but we are looking to add it to our portfolio with the understanding and the prediction that DOGE and Bitcoin will be added to Twitter in the near future, probably by the end of the year. And we want to get an entry on that and then ride the hype after Elon and Twitter support the integration of DOGE into the X platform. It's not whether I think it's going to happen. I think in my mind it's a damn near certainty. So we'll see what happens. We have the conviction on that. We just don't have a conviction on the entry just yet. Trying to have some patience, looking for a Bitcoin sell-off to give us that DOGE entry below 6 cents. And then we'll ride the wave with a potential hold time of up to 3 months, as I think that's when Twitter is going to go more into the financial sector.
You can see on the DOGE chart, third from the bottom, you got the OP trending down, hitting new lows as of really the last 3 or 4 days. And it's trying to hold the blue line support. So again, was oversold as well 4 days ago. So we're getting a little bit of bounce in these things. When we was live, what was it there, Tuesday, Wednesday, we talked about Ethereum being oversold and the Wyckoff Wave crypto index. So these alts have tried to come alive here. I was thinking stocks were going to collapse and keep pressure on crypto. So again, today, good day for cryptos. You got stocks down sharply and crypto trying to hold in. So we'll see if that stays up for us.
To parlay with that, somebody said, what's going to happen with Shiba if Doge pumps? We do know Doge is kind of the index for the dog meme coins. So if any of the dog meme coins pumps, the other ones kind of follow, the other ones being Shiba Inu and Floki. Now we'll see if that trend continues. I think it will be a continuation, but remember, you do have some diminished effects. So if Doge is the pack leader and it goes up 20%, you probably see Shiba Inu and Floki kind of catch the wind of that, the draft, if you will, but it's not going to go up 15%. It might only go up 5 or 6. But yeah, a positive action on Doge will help the Floki and SHIB price. Obviously, you know, I'm a proponent of Floki and a holder of Floki, so I don't mind that.
The price is right. Come on down. I don't think I have that one. I have quite a few here, but I don't think that's it.
He's saying you need to add it. To add it.
Yeah, I don't have that one, I don't believe.
Big House says you feel Pepe will go when Bitcoin gets over 33,000 or is a dead coin. I think Pepe will, you know, the tide raises all boats. I think Pepe can have a possible comeback, but I've been saying at higher levels, Pepe, if you're in it, just with what's going on with internal affairs and the sketchiness of tokens, and it's already on all the biggest exchanges, if you're up big on it, get out of it, move on. That's my opinion. Also, I did give a 20x short in our private Discord. People made between 40 and 80% on that 20x short. If we would have had more balls of steel, I don't know if you got that sound effect, we could have been up probably somewhere between 80 to 150%.
I've got balls of steel.
But we just wanted to take some short-term gains. We didn't want to fight the trend too much. And I just think Pepe has a lot of negatives around it, especially with it still just being a meme coin as well. There's not a product or revenue that's going to help support that token price. Well, let's hop over to these quick 2 news articles, and then we'll let Todd take some more charts, and we'll see what's going on here in the chat box. You guys got a lot of questions today. I love it. More and more people are starting to tune in again now that we just started doing these duo live shows. I think, guess what, the past 2 weeks. So let's continue to get the people in here. Let's continue to keep providing alpha. And for those of you who like what we say on here and want to convert that into actual trades, actual portfolio alpha, join us at patreon.com/learncrypto. $1 a day will keep those bankers away. That's right. God, I love Todd is on it with that soundboard. Everybody give him a clap and a smile or a thumbs up. Miners return over $500,000 in Bitcoin transaction fee overpayment to Paxos. Now, why is this interesting? Paxos was sending a $2,000 transaction, and somebody there fat-fingered and paid $500,000 for a transaction fee. How much should it have cost? About $2. Now, the initial rumors were that this transaction had to do with PayPal, and that's why I tweeted and laughed about it. PayPal wants to be the next big player in the crypto space, yet they don't even know how to do a Bitcoin transaction. That is pretty laughable. Nonetheless, Paxos is taking the blame and letting PayPal off the hook. I still think PayPal might have been part of this, but Paxos is taking the blame, and that's not a good look for Paxos either. As somebody who's deep in this space, who is a distributor of stable coins, they don't even know how to do a Bitcoin transaction. Now, the miner was nicer than I was. Mempool, they actually gave back that $500,000 transaction fee to Paxos. I guess they were saying they didn't want the headlines, the negative headlines associated with that, $500,000 mistake. Look, Bitcoin, if something happens, there is no way to claw back those fees. So they went ahead and gave it back. If I was the miner or a solo miner, I would have kept that $500,000. I don't know about you guys. Let me know in the comments section. Not much of a news story since PayPal is being let off the hook. Nonetheless, it does show some of the risks for the onboarding of Web 2 people into this Web 3 space of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. There are errors in which normally, if this was an average Joe, do you think Mempool would have gave that money back? Probably not. And then quickly want to talk about AI. I came on Cointelegraph. I'm looking for some news. I'm scouring Twitter for some news and some alpha, and I noticed almost every single article is about AI. Now, we do see NVIDIA's stock price soared, AMD's stock price soared, IBM is doing okay, all based off the theme of AI and how it's going to affect our daily life. A few months ago, we did see a nice trend in cryptocurrency where AI projects were soaring. AI pre-sales were soaring, but they've come down, and they come down hard. Now I'm seeing all these AI trend debates again, and I do believe AI is going to impact your life, my life, traditional markets, crypto markets. So we need to keep our eye out for AI projects to invest in for this next market cycle. Do I think it's going to happen overnight? No. Do I think they could be market leaders in the next bull run in 2024? Yes. So over the next 3 months, let's keep our eye out for true AI projects that are utilizing AI that directly affects the price of the underlying asset, which is their token in this space, not just gimmicks. And those are ones that we're going to look to take portfolio positions in over at patreon.com/learncrypto, discuss here on YouTube, and discuss on Twitter moving forward. If you guys know of any good AI stocks or AI cryptos, throw them in the comments section. I might make note of those, and I'll put that on my radar so I can do some research.
I'm going to take it back here and look at MATIC for Sats McGee. He wants to know if we've done accumulation since June 9th. It definitely could be. It's had some underperformance, so I'm not real excited about it. This would be the place for a spring to come in. You can see 3 up from the bottom. You got the OP hitting new lows. That's 5-minute volume calculated, posted daily. And then we was oversold there 4 days ago. So this would be the place to probably take that chance of buying a spring here in MATIC and seeing if we can maybe get back to at least the top of the trading range there, maybe at 90 cents. So we'll see.
Let's get that money.
Get that money.
And there's our copyright claim. That's why we make $0 on YouTube, but patreon.com/learncrypto or hit that donation button. $0 thanks to YouTube copyright claims. Love it. It's all in the name of good entertainment and a good show, though, so we just donate it. Donate it to the multi-billionaires over at YouTube.
Right. No doubt.
Chill out, okay?
Love it. Do you guys have any other questions, comments, concerns? What charts do you want us to look at? What trades are you interested in seeing? And do you have any input on AI cryptos, AI stocks, or any of the other news that we talked about? Godzilla says RNDR seems like a good one. We looked at that chart last show. I'm sure Todd can look at it again. Probably not much has changed, but it has been a decent looking chart in this mini bear cycle.
Yeah, I'm not going to bring that up yet because I am having still that error. I'm going to log back in here real quick.
Lock it up, Todd. Lock it up. Fadir, if you're watching, you better stop this auto logout thing. All right. And new lows for the move on NVIDIA down to 439. New lows for the move. Alert, alert.
Markets are setting on the lows, so not doing too well here. But I'm wanting a shitty close in the stocks. We've got some options and shit expiring here, so this next 8 minutes could get exciting.
Bitcoin continues to remain firm here. It's pretty interesting. But if you get a shitty stock close heading into a weekend, Usually that's when Bitcoin says, okay, enough's enough. We're a little scared. We had a shitty stock close. The stock futures are also red. Now it's time to dump out some of this move. And then we can reevaluate the indicators from there. We don't want to be pessimists. We're not rooting against crypto, guys. We're just on the sidelines, sold from higher levels, looking for a re-entry for each of you to get the most out of your bags, get the most tokens in your bag, leading into what I think could be the biggest Bitcoin and crypto bull market in history in 2024 through 2026, led by Bitcoin spot ETFs in January and March, led by the Bitcoin halving in April. And then, of course, I think we have the presidential election in 2024. We're probably have quantitative easing coming to play. And again, we hopefully have some interest rate cuts by the end of next year. We'll see what happens.
Here's RNDR. We've been talking about that one acting very well and digging out, and it might have left a little 1-2 behind here on Elliott wave count off that low. So yeah, RNDR looks like one that is going to lead us higher back here. So definitely one to be looking at.
What do we take out of the portfolio? Because we got to add RNDR possibly. We got to maybe take a trade on RUNE. We got to add DOGE for sure. Man, it's going to be some hard decisions. We did sell out Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, BNB, and Solana. I think Litecoin could probably get the cut. Let's focus on Bitcoin, BNB, ETH, and Solana buybacks would be my opinion. And we'll see what else we can shuffle around to get some entries when the time comes.
I'm going to go to the Elliott wave chart here on Bitcoin just for a minute. Let me grab the chart here, go to that. Here's the Elliott wave chart that I've been showing for Bitcoin. 5 waves up in the green and a big ABC down. I still have put this in the Discord yesterday. I kind of think we still can maybe been doing a wave 4 triangle here as shown by the white dotted lines that would lead to one more sell-off. With today's outperformance, with stocks closing weak, maybe the low's already in. That's the question, I think, is whether we're in a wave 4, one more new smash with stocks, or whether stocks are going to keep working lower early next week and Bitcoin's going to outperform. So that's something that I think we want to watch and see what happens early next week.
Perfect. Godzilla says, I was just putting RNDR for the possible AI look. See, I mean, I think it's acting strong. It's going with the thesis that I think AI is going to come back again. I got to add it to my list. RNDR. Doge. And then we're keeping an eye on a RUNE trade as well, if it backs up to that previous breakout level.
And Rio chart, Rio's trying to dig out here. I mean, again, I think the precious metals and all that, I think are setting up for big rallies. I think that's coming. Maybe a hair early. I mean, it's having a good day today. A little long on the metals here, but at some point, I think you might want to go all in on GDX, Rio, and some of these mining stocks. But we'll be watching that as we move forward here.
Coinbase just doesn't want to. I mean, you got stocks selling off. You got MicroStrategy and Riot pulling down, and Coinbase is just remaining strong. Still about $1 cheaper than my last sell, but it's almost just like somebody knows something, like they're about to win this court case, and it wants to give us a big green candle. So I'm going to be watching that. I can't really just buy it here, but man, something's telling me there's an insider that knows something. We are about.
Yeah, but it's 30 off the high, so it's had a nice correction. So the worst might be over there. And if you look at the daily chart, I mean, on the backup, you really maybe already completed the backup. So we don't, might not want much lower. So yeah, that's one. If it gets, 84, 85, 86, 87, it looks like it's going to rock and roll. So we will be watching that one. You'll probably put a buy above your head, I would guess, early next week.
Yeah, so we sold at 105, bought back at around 76, sold the grayscale pump at 84.48, and it did drop down to $75.
That was good trades.
It did drop to 75. I wish I would have bought it back then, but there was just no real buy setup, and now it's just showing strength while MicroStrategy, right, and the stocks continue to be weak. So it's just like an insider knows something. They still have the possibility, if the court rules that they win against the SEC, this thing is going to green bar up to $90 to $99. So you don't want to miss that, but we don't invest off of speculation. We're trying to get real entries, and there's just not a setup that's giving me to buy right here. Like Todd said, the best case is probably, put an overhead buy above your head. So if that news comes, at least you can capture half of that rally.
Right. I think from now on, we're going to have to do a Porkblaster near the end of the show, because we had that one on RUNE, well, Wednesday. So
Yeah.
today's Porkblaster might be RNDR, could be coin. So
Yeah.
we're going to name those two, I think, today. Coin, RNDR.
Coinbase stock, RNDR for the crypto market. Interesting.
To follow up on RUNE from Wednesday's show, doing the flyby on the flying freaking pig.
Yeah, that thing since Wednesday's show is up about 12% right now, maybe 12 to 15. I can't remember exactly when we were live, so that's interesting.
Big house. That's it. You get more people in here, get more people giving ideas, more people in the Discords. You got more eyes because, you know, me sitting here looking at stocks, I can't go through, we got a lot going on here. I can't go through every stock. So even in the stock Discord, got some people throwing in smaller cap ideas, lower priced ideas. So it's just good to everybody be in here throwing out RUNE and some of these that maybe Nick and I aren't catching. So that way we can put some eyes on them.
Yep, and if you're part of the Pulse Chain ecosystem, I don't know if you are, we did talk about PRS. That one is about break even with some airdrop rewards already. And we did talk about Serial, which is up 51% since the post yesterday. These are microcap plays on Pulse Chain, but they are having a little bit of their own little altcoin rally over there on Pulse Chain. So these are just initial thoughts. We're dabbling our feet over there, trying to see if we can take advantage of some of the altcoin rally occurring on Pulse Chain. So again, if you're looking for the next layer 2 solution that might have some explosive outcome, whether you like Richard Hart or you don't, I think the first meeting is in November. I think he's going to end up winning the case against SEC. PLS and Pulse Chain and PulseX, which is their decentralized exchange, are going to explode off the lows. And right now we're already seeing a little mini alt season over there. I'm not saying go all in, but maybe pull 5%, 10% of your crypto capital, get it bridged over to Pulse Chain, and maybe play that game. That's what we're going to be looking at. This is kind of how we inched into BSC last cycle. Started with BNB, got into Cake, then played the merry-go-round and made a fortune for people over on pulsechain.com/learncrypto. Doesn't mean it's guaranteed. Doesn't mean everything's going to be a winner, but you kind of see the trend going. You try to get ahead of the trend, and you hope you're right on your analysis of whether that ecosystem is going to grow and thrive.
Stocks pretty well just on the lows. S&P down 55, NASDAQ 218, Dow 290. So it looks like a bad close for the week. Let's see how early next week. I still think we're going to go lower. And maybe Bitcoin, maybe it'll show some strength over the weekend. I would think we're still going to see a little bit of weakness with the stock closing, but we shall see. I mean, crypto could form up here. The low could already be in. And my indicators didn't line up for that on the Wyckoff side. We didn't get really oversold enough down there, but that doesn't mean that we didn't make an early low and we're going to head higher. So we'll watch that early next week. Let's run a disclaimer here real quick, get that out of the way for my regulators.
There is a high degree of risk involved in trading cryptocurrencies. Our thoughts and ideas are for entertainment purposes only. Please consult your personal advisor or do your own research. Past results are not indicative of future returns.
All right, we are back. Weekend is here. Not much action on the pop-out chat, so
I think that might be about it for the show, guys. To wrap up, Paxos got their $500,000 transaction fee back. I wouldn't have given that back to him, but hey, shout out to that miner for doing it. I think AI will come back in the crypto. We're already seeing the success of AI narrative over in traditional markets, and stocks are getting hammered today. Bitcoin showing strength, but we still think there's a chance for another sell-off in Bitcoin. We really need the 23,800 to the 24,200 level to hold to keep the bullish Elliott wave count in play. Smash that like, share, and subscribe button. Join us at patreon.com/learncrypto. Todd, do you have anything else to say?
Not really. Looking for a little bit more weakness. We're going to run a couple commercials here, and anything exciting over the weekend, maybe we'll jump on here. Maybe one of us, both of us, who knows. Otherwise, I'm sure Monday at some time we'll be back here